Hello everyone, it is Stephanie from Glitterful. I am going to do a tutorial today to show you all how to do a glitter swirl, glitter flow, whatever you guys want to call it. So here are the supplies and gloves. You're going to need quite a bit of epoxy. The key for this flow is to have a lot of epoxy. So I have stirred up 40 mLs total. We will probably not use all of that today, and that's okay. I have another cup that I'm working on and some other ones that I need to kind of do a final coat. So I'm okay with that. I am actually going to do a rainbow flow, a rainbow flow swirl, whatever we want to call it. And the colors that I'm going to be using are going to be all from Glitterful. And for those of you that don't know, I own Glitterful. So this is from our shop. It's called Poison Apple. It's a red, it's a holographic, so it has a really nice shimmer. You can actually pick that up very nicely. We have, this one has not been released yet, but this one's going to be Nemo. It's orange, and I will post on our Glitterful Facebook page once it's available for purchase. We have Sunflower. We have Goblin, which is this green one. Then we have Isla Bonita, which is also a holographic blue. Take a look at that. Can you see that? Oh yeah, picked up really nicely. All right, we have Blue Moon, which is also a holographic blue. Really awesome shimmer. And we have Aubergine, okay? And these are all available at glitterful.com. Now, before we continue, guys, if you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to let you guys know when we are doing our next tutorial, okay? All right, so let me go ahead and start my spinner. Okay, and I've mixed this pretty well. Not pretty well, I've mixed this up very well so that we don't have any, it's not cloudy, it's all clear. Put that to the side. Okay, so again, the key for the swirl is to have a lot of epoxy on these cups. So I'm gonna go ahead and start placing the epoxy. And I have prepped my cup. It's been sanded, it's been spray painted with flat acrylic, no, not flat acrylic, flat white spray paint. And I use Krylon. You know, people have their own liking to whatever spray paint they want. I like Krylon. I haven't had any issues. It doesn't give me any sleek spots on my epoxy, so I stick with it. I stick to whatever works for me. The epoxy that I use is Amazing Clear Cast. Now you can buy that on moldputty.com, and I'll have that link in the description bar. I've also purchased it on Amazon as well. And I've got good deals on them. I also don't have any problem. I live in North Carolina, so my temperature changes, especially in the springtime. It drops at night, it picks up during the day. Can't figure out what it wants. It's temperamental. Temperamental weather, for sure. So this one doesn't, I don't have any problems with that, with the weather being temperamental. I do always have a heating, a heat fan nearby just to kind of keep it pretty even keel, the temperature in wherever it is. So, and as you guys can see, as I'm blabbing away, is I'm adding a lot of epoxy. I like literally, you need so much for it to move. When you think you've had enough, you haven't put enough. It's the motto to this. All right. Because, as you guys know, epoxy is a self-leveler. So, because it has so much, it keeps on running. And that's what creates the swirls in your glitter, okay? Or the flow, whatever you want to call it. And I always have like a rag or a paper towel nearby so that I can clean off my gloves. All right, sweet deal. I'm good. So I'm gonna clean my hand and I'm gonna take off my gloves so that I can go ahead and start pouring. Now I have already placed all of my glitters in a little cup. I did not use my makeshift shakers for this one because I want to have a little bit more control in the way it pours. So I just did an open little Dixie cup. I have seen where you can use popsicle sticks, you can use a spoon. I mean, whatever floats your boat and how you want it, how you want to control the way it flows is up to you. I prefer them in a little cup. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm going to start with my red. And the way you start is, I mean, there's so many methods. So you can start horizontally, or you can do like a diagonal. And that's what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to do a diagonal. And then I'll wait until this comes back up because I don't. All right, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I went to get a spoon instead. I just, like, it's easier to, especially because this spinner moves a lot quicker. So I just want to make sure that and you can definitely grab paper to catch your glitter. I find that I'm really messy with my epoxy, so I can't catch it at all. I try. I really do. Not for this, at least. Okay? And like, you can keep adding to this. And as you can see, it's already starting to move. And that's exactly what your epoxy does. It shifts the glitter for you. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move to the next one. And you got to find your own group. Like, you can start from the bottom, you can start from the top. I started from the bottom for this one first, but I think it became a little bit easier to start it from the bottom down once I had the line started. Oh, I love how that's flowing. And I'll add as much as I want, and then I'll move on. And as this continues to move and to spin, you're going to see that the colors are going to start to blend a little bit. So it's going to create like this really cool shift. And that's because the epoxy is shifting. Let's wait. And don't fight with it. Like, if it spins a little too quickly for you, just wait for it to come back so that you can get like the design that you want. And I really like this method because since you're using a lot of epoxy, the glitter is being soaked into it. So you're going to have a glass-like finish. So it's going to be like a wet look, which if you watched my how to apply glitter to a cup using the epoxy method, it's like the opposite. For that, you don't ever want it to have like a wet look because it takes away from the design, from, you know, what you're trying to do. Now for this, I find that I'm different with it. I like the wet look. It makes it easy for me to go back, and just a quick decount, and bam, my last coat of epoxy. And I'm going back to green because I noticed that I have a spot right here. So I'm just, okay. And I did Isla Bonita, so now I'm moving on to Blue Moon. I'm in love with these colors, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the rear here for not catching my colors, only because I am all about using my supplies over and over again. Like, just there's no need for waste. So if you know that you haven't gotten epoxy at the bottom, do yourself a favor and put the like a piece of paper so that you can catch your stuff. All right. I love how this is, because we started so chunky here at the top of the red. It like blended smaller at the bottom, and I love that. It came out so nice. See, and this is where you go back and like, so now that you've had your colors and you've laid them, you can go back and, you know, add to wherever it is that you needed to add to. So for example, for me, I'm going to add a little bit more on the red so that it has more depth there. Let's go back to orange. You see orange really shifted into the yellow. So I'm going to go back into orange. So pretty. And I'll go back, and when it spins back, I'll go back to that purple piece. I'm going to go back and put Isla Bonita. There's a little tiny spot that's like, I notice. So I'm going to go and put some more. All right, sweet deal. Now you're going to let this spin. You're going to let it do its thing. It's still wet. You could probably already see there's some spots where it's starting to blend. You let it spin. And if you want it to spin more and you want to help this move, just add heat to it. So if you grab your heating tool, you add some heat and help it move. Never directly, always side to side. And you'll get that epoxy moving even more. I typically like let it sit and do its own thing. I don't really like to bug it much. I won't touch the bottom either. Like the cover, the bottom piece, only because I don't want to mess up with the colors. But yeah, see, you're gonna get this blend, and so it's kind of gonna do this cool swirly thingy. You have, if you want to do this, just like the swirl itself, but without like the actual interchanging of the colors, then all you need to do is do less epoxy and then do the lines diagonally. And we'll do another tutorial on that, but this is kind of just to show you what it looks like after the shift. And I see a yellow piece right here that I'm going to give it some. And listen, as artists, we tend to go back and do too much. So, and this is the point that I do that too. Leave it alone. It's gonna blend. It's gonna do its own thing. It's gonna move. It's gonna look great. I will take a picture of this to show you all what it looks like after the fact. Yeah. So again, guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Make sure to press that notification bell. Share this video if you found it educational. Thanks so much for joining me. It's Stephanie with Glitterful. You guys have a glitterful day. Bye.